In this week's newscast, record attendance at the Beijing Massacre Memorial.
Here at home, a 19-year-old's life is cut short after his car plows into a backyard.
And busting the myth that disabilities hinders success. One woman's story.
This is the Evening News with Ivan Leung and Danielle Staniskov.
Good evening. More than 180,000 residents attended the 25th anniversary of the Beijing Massacre in Hong Kong. Memorial ceremonies were also held in Sydney and Melbourne. Zarif, Alibhai and Charlie Ju reports.
The theme of the memorial service this year is Fight Until the End for rectifying 4th June incidents. After the moment of silence, attendees shouted slogans, taunting the Chinese government for being a coward and demanding justice and fairness in mainland China. Also, recordings of the student movement leaders were played, encouraging the attendees to keep on fighting for the democracy and rectification of the incident. During the service, the organizers had announced that over 180,000 people attended the memorial service in Victoria Park. Organizers were pleased by the record-breaking number, as they believe this is a sign of Hong Kong citizens standing up against the PRC's action of depriving Hong Kong's freedom. Zarif, Alibhai, WAM News.
A 19-year-old was killed in a horrific accident in Thornley when his car rolled down an embankment and smashed into an elderly woman's backyard. Kierath Taplin has the summary.
At about 11:50 p.m. on Thursday night, Thornley residents woke to the alarming crash which had been witnessed by 2 police officers who were performing a nearby traffic stop. The vehicle caught on fire and the 19-year-old driver was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver was travelling northwestbound down Spencer Road in a Holden Commodore alongside another driver in a Nissan 3000 ZX.
There's a certain amount of information to suggest that the vehicles may have been racing, and we're exploring that possibility at the moment.
Police do not suspect alcohol was a factor. The crash site is devastating, with bricks, pieces of metal and other debris cluttering the entire backyard. Friends of the deceased man gathered at the site on Friday morning to pay tribute to a young life lost too soon. Police arrested the 20-year-old driver of the Nissan and charged him with dangerous driving, occasioning death, no authority to drive and driving an unlicensed vehicle. He has been released on bail and will appear at the Perth Magistrates Court next month. Kierath Taplin, WAMN News.
Well, there's a saying that physical disability is not an obstacle, and we are about to meet one person who is living proof of that statement. Stacey Parkinson, who suffers from cerebral palsy, is living her dream as a musician and debuts her first public performance. Here's Ali Harper's special report.
Stacey Parkinson was born with cerebral palsy, a physical disability that affects her balance and coordination. Throughout childhood, her condition had a particularly emotional effect.
I got teased and bullied a lot, and it was hard to actually do sport.
A gifted singer, Stacey directed her focus into music and composing tunes on her parents' organ. Stacey took vocal lessons as a teenager, strengthening her passion for singing and playing music.
It's the feeling that you get, it's the excitement, it's the fact that I can speak to people through what I'm singing as well.
Now, aged 30, Stacey had her debut live performance yesterday as a feature artist at the Universal Bar in Northbridge, and she is hoping more opportunities will come.
It was amazing. I mean, despite the disability, without even looking at that at all, she was just, once again, she's just blown us away again, and we're so lucky to have her part of our Hey Music community.
Stacey is an inspirational example of breaking the barrier between disability and following your dreams. She encourages others with disabilities to have a can-do attitude.
If you are disabled but able-bodied and, like myself, and just get out there and do something, don't sit around feeling sorry.
Ali Harper, WAMN News.
Well, it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Don't use your mobile phone while driving. Police will be testing out new speed cameras to have a range of 700 meters to catch drivers who commit multiple offences. Those who are caught breaking the rules could be slapped with extra fines and demerit point deductions. Acting Deputy Commissioner Michelle Fife said the trial will cost the government $45,000.
Do you want to make this world a better place? Labor MP Chris Tallentire certainly does, and he shared with us who he wishes to be in this week's If I Am series. Why not stay tuned?
My name's Chris Tallentire and I'm the Shadow Minister for Environment in the West Australian Parliament. I'd love to be the Al Gore of the West Australian Parliament. I'd make sure that every decision made by the West Australian Government considers the greenhouse gas emission implications. Unlike the current Minister, who doesn't care at all, doesn't even know what West Australia's greenhouse gas emissions are. If we don't act, we're going to have problems for our agricultural sector, we're going to have problems with rising sea levels and housing in danger, we're going to have all sorts of problems for our lifestyle, for our quality of life. We'll start losing big areas of natural bushland, all because of changing climate.
To World News, San Diego residents were all fired up after bus and train fares increased again despite poor quality of service. The bus drivers are also demanding better working conditions. Chile correspondent Ramir Perez reports.
A panel of experts in charge of adjusting the prices of Santiago's public transport system decides to raise both bus and metro prices by 10 pesos. The rise comes following the variation of 8 components over the last year, most notably the price of diesels, wages and the value of the American dollar. The increase means that it will cost now 610 pesos to ride the bus, and the metro will cost 680 pesos at rush hour. The Trans-Santiago system has been the center of a great deal of controversy. Many citizens believe that the elimination of the old yellow buses made the transportation problem even worse. Others have criticized the increase in prices despite a lack of decent service. For WIMN News, Brian Ramirez, Santiago, Chile.
To sport, and the New South Wales Indigenous Under-16s took out the inaugural Rhys Wesser Shield with a gritty 18-10 victory over the West Coast Pirates at the NIB Stadium on Saturday night. Exciting Pirates prospect Tamba Levy opened the scoring, burning the flanks and offenders in his wake. New South Wales Indigenous took a while to get a feel for the match, but when they did, it was truly special. Pirates coach Danielle Green would have been impressed with the effort, as his charges proved they could match it with seasoned opposition. Here's Cahli Samata with this week's top stories in science.
Thanks, Evan and Danielle. Several new species have been discovered on a bush blitz expedition in the Kimberley. A new species of rainbow fish, wolf spider, pseudoscorpion and butterfly are among the numerous species found which could be completely new to science. Senator Simon Birmingham said the butterfly is the first new record of butterfly in Western Australia for about 10 years. Traditional owners and science teachers joined more than a dozen students for the Blitz, which was hailed as a huge success. An ECU student has developed an app which could provide a solution for children with hearing loss. PhD student Luke Brook initially created the app for his 5-year-old son Cooper, who suffers hearing loss, and is now a finalist in the 2014 WIETA Awards for Information and Communications Technology. It uses the popular children's story, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, in an easy-to-use interface to provide hearing screening for children suffering from hearing loss in a quick 10-minute test. Mr. Brooks hopes the app will be used in schools, particularly in rural areas. CSIRO has had a breakthrough by using solar energy to generate hot and pressurized supercritical steam, which could be used to drive the most advanced power stations in the world. CSIRO's Energy Director Dr. Juan Haas described the milestone as a game changer for the renewable energy industry. He said the step change proves that solar has the potential to compete with the peak performance capabilities of fossil fuel sources. The technology still requires some work before it is ready for commercialization. And that's science.
Thank you, Cahli, and that's the program for the week. For the latest news, you can hop onto our website and you might notice a difference.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next Sunday.
Good night.